Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. So I got to watch the first 2 episodes of Ahsoka. Today I'm going to give you some of my impressions. Unfortunately, I wasn't at the big event they threw in, I believe, New York, but I do have press credentials for Disney+. By the way, if you're a YouTuber and you're interested in that, either reach out or check out the video I did before Andor. Anyway, I'm somewhat limited in what I can say today. It's the social embargo which lifted. How that differs exactly from a review embargo, I don't really know, but what it means for me is that I won't be rating the episode 1 to 10 or anything like that. Not that that's something I do anyway, and I also won't be talking about any specific plot details. You can fully watch this video without getting spoiled about the plot anyway. I will be giving my thoughts on what generally worked from a sort of broad standpoint and what didn't work as well. First of all, the question you guys are probably all wondering, is it good? Well, I certainly liked it, but with full transparency, considering that Star Wars Rebels is one of my favorite Star Wars projects, and that the Thrawn trilogy is maybe my favorite non-OT movie project ever, it's not really surprising. I'll just say it bluntly, if you're a Star Wars Rebels fan, unless you've become really cynical since season 4 aired, I just don't see how you wouldn't like this show based on the first 2 episodes anyway. The characters feel very genuine to their animated forms. I thought the transitions were all handled very well. Standouts for me among the Rebels crew would be Sabine and Chopper, whereas for new characters, I thought Baylan and Shin overall were really great. There is, however, a flip side. The show does a good job of introducing everything that's happened. No one will be confused watching Ahsoka's first 2 episodes, but I really do wonder whether it will have the same impact. Like, they go into the show assuming that you care about these characters from Rebels and the Clone Wars, and I'm not sure whether they do a good enough job establishing all of that for new viewers, but I guess we'll see when the show drops and more reviews start to come in. And I think that's sort of a good transition into the next thing I wanted to talk about, and that's just how the show looks and feels. I think overall right now, Obi-Wan Kenobi is definitely the best example of a show where the plot or the themes were most let down by the directing, by the visuals, by sort of everything associated with that. I wouldn't say Ahsoka has the same problem. It's a well-made show. Again, I can't go too much into specifics, but I liked what I saw in terms of environment and action. There were parts that felt actually more cinematic and more space opera-y than any of the Star Wars shows have so far, but there were also parts which I guess reminded me of the show's animated roots. Now, you can take that either as a positive or negative. What I would say is watch the trailer sequences on Lothal. Lothal in Star Wars Rebels is a really great example of how that show takes the Macquarie art and transforms it into a living, breathing thing. With live action, they took pretty much a one-to-one recreation of what we see. So I guess the way I'm trying to describe it is to see the stylistic elements of animation taken to live action. It's not bad. It's just, I think some people may be a little turned off by elements of that. But like I said, that's sort of an extension of my general point, where this really does feel like a condensed Star Wars Rebels Season 5. I say condensed because I'm assuming that the rest of the season isn't going to have the traditional animated show plot arcs that kind of just loop around on themselves because it's an 8-episode season. I also think that the show probably hasn't changed the Disney Plus MO of telling a several-part self-contained story, and I think that at times has been a weakness. The best TV shows usually have distinct plot arcs, and a lot of the Disney Plus shows have had season-wide arcs, but not much else, with I think Andor being the notable exception to that, and Andor being better off for it. Still, this show has a very distinct feel compared to the ones I just mentioned, and again, a lot of that's due to the scale and the scope. Now, it's not all perfect. There was definitely some clunky moments. Nothing that really derailed my enjoyment. Certainly nothing like the several dudes in a trench coat moment from Kenobi. What I'm trying to say is that I don't think it's going to be the first Disney Plus show which doesn't have moments where you're kind of reminded that, hey, this is a TV show, not a really long movie. But I think that's all I've got to say. There is a full review embargo later, but I'm probably just going to leave it at here for now. I'm really excited for the 7 weeks of Ahsoka coverage I'll have for you guys. Also, Also, please tread carefully, because while I'm trying specifically personally to not tweet anything out or include in my video anything out which could be seen as a plot spoiler, not everyone did the sort of online media screener thing. Some people went to in-person screenings like fans, and they're generally not beholden to the same limits on what they can share. But those are my honest thoughts. Do I think the show will be for everyone? Probably not. I don't think people will outright hate it. I just don't know if it's going to hit for everyone the same way as it will for people invested in the animated shows.